Like, what's some tips?
I ain't gonna lie. 1 in 18?
Yeah.
Stop boxing.
Six.
It's Canadian money, got blue on the finger from all of the plastic I'm thumbing. None of that whipping on Saturday next nigga. See you in public.
Perfect. Finish him.
What up? Salute to everybody in the building. It's your boy, it's your host. You know who it is, man. Ryan from the 6. We in here, man. Big sixes. Yeah, man. Start off the show. I had to gift some memberships to some people. So if you the first one in, hopefully you get some memberships, man. Hopefully you walk away with something from the stream. But we got some good news today. Oh, I mean, I'm not gonna say like good news in the sense of, oh, I'm so excited over the moon. Nah, man. It's just good that we got some Devin Haney news in a sense of him possibly getting back in the ring now. You know, that's what I'm talking about, man. But salute to everybody in the building. Make sure you smash that like button when you come in the stream, man. Show some love to the stream. Share the video. You know, tell a friend and tell a friend. Your boy Ryan from the 6 is here. We talking boxing, all things boxing. But we gonna break down the real boxing talk over here, man. You know what I mean. So sub. Make sure y'all sub when y'all come in, bro. Make sure y'all sub when you come in, bro. You know what it is, man. But first off, man, huge moves happening. Honestly, on the broadcasting side, Devin, the Dream Haney, has officially signed his multi-fight deal, apparently. That's the reporting, multi-fight deal with DAZN. So it's not multi-year, multi-fight, man. Shout out to the Haneys. After all the rumors swirling around Zuffa Boxing at $100 million, right? We gonna see, man, what happened with this deal here with DAZN. But he's going back to DAZN. Obviously, all boats and all directions are pointing towards Keyshawn Davis now with the purse bid. Haney decided to stick with who he's basically got his stardom from, man. I think we all got to see Devin flourish on DAZN, man, when he was younger. So he'll have to face his mandatory, though, and that's Keyshawn Davis, which is also a great fight. I think Keyshawn Davis is a phenomenal talent. You know, obviously a silver medalist Olympian. He's been on his own road, you know, racking up wins. And he's only got 15 fights, man. He's already been a world champion. And I think that's great, man, for DAZN, for them to pick up this fight, yo. That's a good fight to put on the network, man, especially as Devin Haney's debut on DAZN, you know, against Keyshawn Davis, who is probably got a lot of people rooting for him, man. I'm sure there's a lot of people going to pick Keyshawn Davis in this fight, right? He's a boxer puncher. He's got a lot of experience in the amateur circuit. You know, he's been doing well at the pros. I think his style is way more fit for the pros than it was for the amateurs. So that's going to be a good matchup whenever they announce it, man. Keyshawn Davis, Devin Haney. It's going to be a good fight. I think Devin Haney's going to go for that fight. I don't think he's going to go in a different direction. If he's staying with DAZN, I would say all things are pointed towards Keyshawn Davis, man. We're also going to look at my man Bryden Harden. We're going to talk about him a bit. He's the head of boxing for North America at DAZN. You know, pretty much since he got on board, he was also, I think he was like CEO of OTX Boxing as well, too. I know he was working with OTX, but now he's officially the head of boxing on DAZN for North America. And pretty much since he became the guy, he brought all the promoters together. He got Top Rank over there. Now he got PBC over there. I'm sure he had a hand in keeping Teofimo Lopez with the DAZN, because Teo was also another guy who was rumored to go to Zuffa. You know, Teofimo Lopez with DAZN. And you could bet Bryden's gonna try to get Ryan Garcia to sign with DAZN as well, man. So we'll talk a bit about him. And Frank the Ghost Martin signs with Top Rank. It leaves me wondering, really. I know he's with Buddy McGirt now. We've seen him in a couple fights with Buddy McGirt. But it wonders, for me, like, what does Top Rank got for Frank the Ghost, man? Or are they going to put him in these crossover fights? Because, you know, Top Rank, they've been putting guys in crossover fights now. We've seen it the last at least 3 or 4 fights, man. Xander and Boots. Albert Bell, who was with PBC, who would have known? He fought against Abdullah Mason. So that's another crossover fight. So they've been doing it, man. They've been putting the guys in, and we'll see what happens next for Frank Martin. I think Frank Martin's doing a great job of moving up to 140. You know, he looked kind of shaky in the Near Albright fight, y'all. He almost lost it at the end there, man. Like, I'm gonna be real, he almost lost it. And then we'll also talk about the Zuffa card happening this weekend. Edgar Berlanga versus Stephen Butler headline the card. We also got Richard Hitchens making his debut against Ricardo Salas. That should be a good fight. Jumping up to 147. That's his first fight there. So, you know, shout out to Salas. He got a big stoppage over Roman Villa, man. I think it was like a second or third round stoppage. So shout out to Zuffa Boxing, giving us boxing on Sunday. Yeah, man, we'll talk about all those topics there, but obviously we'll start at the top. And let me get the roll call going, man. Shout out to everybody tuning in. We got Flexing and Stepping in the building. What up, champ? He said, my boy Ryan, Iceman season continues. You know what it is. The jig is up. They don't want to hear about that, bro. They don't want to hear about that. Yo, shout out to Jay-Z, but he just better just stay in retirement, bro. It's not your time, bro. WP36 in the building. What up, bro? Salute. Make sure you guys smash that like button when you come in. Show some love to the stream, man. Show some love to the stream. We do have the $20 super chat goal for the stream. That's 10 $2 super chats. So if you can help out and support the channel, I really appreciate that, man. We got a lot going on this weekend, a lot of boxing, man. So a lot to talk about outside of the topics we have today. You know, we got the Tim Tszyu, Errol Spence fight going on this weekend. You know, that's a big fight. A lot of people looking forward towards that. I think a lot of people are like myself. We just want to see how Errol Spence looks. I don't know, man. My expectations is not out the roof. I'm not expecting the old Errol Spence to show up. Let me just say that. But I'm expecting to see a good fight. You know, I'm hoping that both men, Tim Tszyu, can provide something, show us maybe something that we haven't seen in a while from Earl, and vice versa, man. Hopefully Errol Spence can bring something out of Tim Tszyu, because Tim Tszyu hasn't had great performances himself as of lately. So I think both of these guys need a win, man. They both need to win, but we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. But first, we'll talk about this man. We'll talk about Devin Haney and this deal that he done got, man. We don't know the price tag on it, and that's okay. I don't really harp on that too much, but we know he's over here, so he's gonna be fighting soon, right? We know he's gonna be fighting soon, bro. We know he's gonna be fighting soon. So Devin Haney, we're gonna get a fight out of him, and an announcement we'll probably see on that live. We'll see DAZN make that bid, right? DAZN probably gonna get that big bid, and if they don't, imagine if they don't win the bid, and it's like an Eddie Hearn situation where they gotta go buy the bid or pay extra, you know. That might become a thing too, man. That might become a thing too, you know, as we seen weirder things in boxing, bro. So I think for sure we got to keep all options open. We watch that WBO bid. You know, obviously they can't come to an agreement now, which is crazy. Because you think if DAZN was offering Devin and Bill, you know, all that money, maybe DAZN had to go back and offer Devin Haney something way more lucrative. Maybe the $100 million was real, and maybe DAZN had to go back and give Devin Haney and DHP something that Zuffa couldn't provide, man. And I think a lot of people are running with, and so myself too. I can't lie. I'm kind of thinking like, DAZN probably gave them a budget, man, to do these fights. So I'm thinking they're going to give Devin Haney the opportunity to offer fights to either opponents or to do his cards, man. And I think both options would be super impressive for Devin Haney, because I don't know many boxers, or if any boxer, right, outside of Canelo Alvarez has that type of freedom in today's boxing economy. I don't know, man. The only thing that I can't sit here and tell you guys is, like, I don't know how Devin Haney can sell like that. You know, I'm not disrespecting him, man. I'm just saying if you're gonna be offering up fight cards and stuff like that, who's on DHP promotions? We got to figure that out, right? Or is it just gonna be him, the fighter, offering it to other fighters and fighting on the zone big cards, you know, headline and the zone big cards? That could be another possibility, and that probably is more the possibility than the DHP promotions thing. But nonetheless, shout out to Devin Haney, man, for getting the deal done. Either way, we know something's coming. We know a fight date's coming. I'm excited about that, to hear that, man, to see what happens with Devin Haney. Can he come through and become the guy that we all want him to be, you know, undisputed at 147? Or, you know, is he just going to take the big fights, man? Try to get Shakur in the ring, try to get, you know, the other big names. Tank Davis is obviously a big fight, which I think is too far right now when I look at the weight with those guys. Obviously, Ryan Garcia rematch is massive. That fight can happen if both parties can just come to an agreement. You know, there's a lot of fights out there for Devin Haney, man. Obviously, this one here, Keyshawn Davis, is another one that's a good one. So we'll see, man. Shout out to Logan Little in the building. What up, Chief? He said, these guys, man, Haney's 27, 28 years old. Going to fight one time this year. Ridiculous. When can we get back to the guys fighting more and staying sharp? No, I totally agree, man. They got to get active more. But, I mean, they're getting paid, right? They're getting paid that big money, and that's the difference. That's why they don't be in the ring as much, because they're getting paid well. But we'll see, man. Maybe Devin Haney might be able to possibly squeeze in. Nah, he won't be able to squeeze in too. I'm lying. Because they're saying they're targeting October. So if he goes ahead and fights in October, then yeah, he's probably not going to fight the rest of the year, Devin Haney. So, I mean, we could possibly get a fight next year with Ryan Garcia, because they're going to be on par, right? Like Ryan Garcia's fighting in September, and Devin Haney's scheduled or rumored to schedule to fight in October. So, yeah, we can definitely get those two fighting maybe early January, maybe February. I don't know, man. We'll see, though. We'll see what happens in the scene of boxing. I think, honestly, Devin Haney got bigger problems, man. He got to get past Keyshawn Davis. That's not an easy fight by any means necessary. You know, Keyshawn Davis can go ahead and spoil the party. He can get Devin Haney his first loss on his DAZN deal right off the hop. You know, he can spoil a lot of things, man, and obviously make a name for himself. Like, because Keyshawn beating Devin Haney would be massive for him, man. That would put him up in some conversations, and it'd give him a belt at 147. He's already at the zone with the other champions, so he can get in the ring with those guys. You know, I just think Keyshawn's got a lot to gain, not much to lose, which is the opposite for Devin Haney. If he loses to Keyshawn Davis, it's a guy who's 15-0. He loses to a guy who doesn't even have 20 fights. So I think for Devin Haney, like, this is obviously on his side the bigger risk, right? Obviously, the reward will come from whatever DAZN offers, if there is one. But I think with the 75-25, if you're Keyshawn Davis, you go ahead and take it, man, no matter what, man. Shout out to my brother Anthony Forbes in the building. Salute to Forbes, man. Yo, Forbes, what's going on, man? Every day I get on the Boxing Voice, these dudes is calling you out like you sweet, man. This shit is crazy. Yo, I hope you get in there and deal with one of these dudes, man, because I know Forbes, and he put in the work. Shout out to Forbes becoming a member, man. I appreciate you, brother. Becoming a member to the clip. You know what it is, man. You drop that for my man Forbes, yo. Member clip. Yeah, salute to my brother Forbes, man. Yeah, they be thinking you sweet, bro. It's actually nuts, bro. Yo, it's nuts, bro. But hey, we'll see, man. My man Forbes, hopefully you in the next Border Wars, dog. Put in that work, dog. Shout out to Flex and Step and said, my boy Forbes, you better pack up that clown. Rico. Okay. That's one of the dudes. Oh, Rich O. Sorry, Rich O. Yeah. I think that's who I heard calling you out today, man, Rich O. Shout out to Rich O, but yo, gotta fight Forbes then, bro. My man Logan Little said Keyshawn got skills to do it. Does he have the mentality though? Yo, that's my only position with Keyshawn Davis, Logan. I don't think he got the mentality to keep a 12-round game plan with Devin Haney. I think Devin Haney would dissect him down the stretch, because I think if any point that Keyshawn's losing, he might get too antsy. He might start doing things out of character. Like we just saw him fight Near Albright. He didn't really, like, he won the fight, right? But he didn't like totally dominate, which, you know, I thought he should have dominated the fight. But Near Albright's one of them guys, man. He just a tough out. Shout out to Forrest, man, with the $5 super chat. Salute for starting us off, bro. He said, nah, it's a rookie about to get put to sleep. Shout out to Forrest, bro. He said, that man's a rookie. He about to get put to sleep. Let me drop the chips with the dip.
I want my chips with the dip. That's all I know. I don't want my chips plain. I want my chips with the dip. So bring them dips.
Appreciate you, Forbes, man. Yeah, bro. They playing with you, bro. Oh, man. Shout out to Mark 189 in the building. What's going on, man? He said, Ryan from the 6. We in the building. What's going on, champ? He said, Haney about to jab Key into a mental breakdown. Hey, yo, that's what I'm trying to say, man. I think Keyshawn Davis, if there's anything that I'm like, yeah, that's a weakness, it's definitely going to be, can he keep a patient or a steady head in that fight, man? Even being behind in the fight, can he still keep his faculties together to get the win? Can he figure it out? Can he get past the fact that, you know, Devin Haney is pretty much going to stick to the game plan? You know, Devin Haney does make mistakes too. Don't get it twisted. He'll take some chances. You know, that's the thing about Devin Haney. He'll take some chances, and, you know, sometimes he gets burnt. But for the most part, whatever his corner tell him, he's like a soldier. He's going to go do it, man. He's like a winter soldier. Whatever Bill over there telling him, he's going to do. Like, even when we saw in the Lomachenko fight, he was still doing what Bill was saying, but we saw him come back and say, yo, they figured it out. They figured out the game plan. But he was still staying to his guns, because I think Devin Haney truly believed in his team, man. He believed in the people around him. You know, he got the soldier mentality. He just going, you know, what the generals say he gonna do, he gonna make it happen. So I think it's gonna be tough on Keyshawn Davis, man. Can he really, you know what I'm saying, hold it down for 12 rounds? Or can he even get to Devin Haney before that? But like people always say Devin Haney's chinny because he was down in them Ryan fights. But I always say to people, like, but Ryan Garcia never knocked him out, bro. He was hurt from the first round. And he went 12 rounds hurt pretty much, and won a lot of them rounds. And I just got to say, like, man, he may not have a chin because he was down all them times, but you can't say he ain't got no heart, because he got up every single time, man. So we can't question Devin Haney's heart. He got one. But yeah, we'll see, man. If Keyshawn can get to him and put him down and see if he can stop Devin Haney, that would be a massive statement. Shout out to Southwest Dice. What's going on, bro? He said, I got Devin over the field. 5-fight deal, 150 mil. Ooh, that'd be fucking great, man. I don't know how big the deal is. I see they said multi-fight deal. So yeah, you right on the fights, maybe 5 fights. That'd be dope, man. If it's 5 fights, then it's like, you know, are we gonna get 2 fights a year out of Devin Haney? A possible 3-year deal. Or if it's a 1 fight, then it's extended, right? Like my man said, Logan Little. We don't want to see the guys fighting once a year anymore. We want to see them fighting more. So hopefully, you know, Devin Haney can get in 2 a year. You know, 3 if he's being generous, but I'm okay with 2 a year from Devin Haney. I think the rest of the others in boxing, they got to pick it up too, man. They got to start fighting more, get more active. And, you know what I'm saying? It'll be pretty good, man. Shout out to Ice God in the building. What up, man? He said, so for all the haters of Haney, answer this. Why did he get paid so much if he's so boring? Yo, I think he got paid. Yo, I think Devin Haney does draw attention, bro. I'm not going to lie. I think he draws attention, but like he got that Floyd attention. Like people want to watch Devin Haney to see him fall, bro. bro. Like, let's just be real. People don't want to watch Devin Haney to see him succeed. They waiting on his downfall, which is, I don't wish that on nobody, man. You know what I'm saying? This is a sport at the end of the day. This is boxing, man. So I hope everybody walks out there with their faculties. But there's people that really want to see him get, destroyed. And they paying money. They paying their DAZN subscription now. Or they're going to be paying their DAZN subscription to try to watch their favorite fighter do it. It's up to Devin Haney now. He got all the he ain't got all the pressure, but he got some pressure on him to if it's a 5-fight deal, like my man saying 150 mil, he got to live up to it, right? And we'll see, man. I think Devin Haney, I like Devin Haney, bro. He don't talk too much. I think it's more people are mad at Bill. You know what I'm saying? But like, what you want Bill to say, bro? Like, he's the father, man. Like, I got a son. If I feel like my son is the best, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna parade it, man. I'm gonna tell the world I'm proud of my son. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't expect anything less from Bill Haney. Like, why would he say his son's not the best? Like, he's the father, man. That's how he feels. So, and then, when his son's out here actually backing it up and winning these fights, you can't really be mad at him about that, man. So I think it's the yin and the yang. Like, obviously, you're gonna say what you gotta say, but not everybody gonna like it at the end of the day. But I can't wait, man, for this deal to start. With Keyshawn Davis, essentially that's a perfect start to the deal. Keyshawn Davis is dangerous, man. I think all of us in the boxing community can agree that Devin Haney could lose this fight. This is a dangerous fight. There's danger in this fight. Keyshawn Davis does fight with intentions to stop people. He's not coming out there to box with you, really. He's going to box a bit, but he's trying to hurt you, man. So shout out to Keyshawn Davis for stepping up to the next division, too. This is his first fight at 147, which is insane. But, for Keyshawn Davis, I guess you got nothing to lose, bro, at this point, because you just trying to fight for a world title. Shout out to Cam in the building. What's going on, brother? He said Key got power and he can box. Ryan can't box as well as Key. No, that's a fact. That's a fact. I totally agree, man. I can see where you're going with that. You saying that Keyshawn Davis might be a bigger problem for Devin Haney, and I totally agree, bro. That's why I think like it's awesome that we're gonna get that fight as my man's debut deal, man. For the DAZN. Like, DAZN's definitely setting the bar high for Devin Haney. And you could also thank the WBO for that too. They ordered the fight. Strictly boxing politics. I know Max Kellerman was talking about that on Inside the Ring. And I'm probably not gonna play that because they flagged me last time Inside the Ring. They crazy, man. So they don't like the content creators talking about what they talking about. Us bigging them up. They don't like that. So yeah, I'll just I won't play it. But yeah, if you go check it out, Max Kellerman did talk about the sanctioning bodies. Logan Little said I'll take 2 fights a year. Yeah, bro. For sure. My man Ice Guy said the reality is he's not a boring fighter. He's a very skilled. Some people just don't appreciate boxing. No, that's a fact. I think most of the casuals don't. They don't really appreciate the boxing aspect of it. And you can kind of understand that. Like I always tell people, like, I don't watch the UFC, so I don't appreciate ground game in the UFC. I don't even know much about it, So when guys are just on the ground hugging, it's really boring to me. I don't really know what's going on. But there's somebody who's wrestled or done Brazilian jiu-jitsu or something like that in their life, they can probably dissect it for me and say, yo, they doing this and that. And it's entertaining to them. So I think like to us, the hardcores, we just got to understand that the casuals, they're casuals. So they watch knockouts. They like action. But I mean, we've seen Devin Haney drop Brian Norman Jr., which was that was something we haven't seen in a while, right? Him dropping somebody who's a dangerous puncher. We haven't seen that in a while. So he showed the power is there at 147. So, things can happen in this fight, bro. Things can happen in this fight, bro, for sure. My man Cam said it's Bill to some degree, but the Haney fans are the worst. Yeah, man. I can't speak for the fan bases. Yeah, bro. They all get wild. They're all fanatics, bro. Shout out to Southwest. He said Shakur looking like he doesn't have a fight with the new deal. I think Shakur, even though he didn't want to fight Ryo, he said that wasn't going to be his first fight. I think that's going to be his first fight. I think Ryo's going to be his first fight. It'll end up being Ryo. Maybe Gary Anton Russell, maybe. If the negotiations really fell out with Isak, then yeah, possibly. But I think I bet my money on Ryo right now. Shout out to Ice God. He said Key is a more dangerous fight for Haney than Garcia. I will say that. Why? Because Key can box at a high level and can do knockouts. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact, bro. And that's why I'm like, yo, I think if Devin Haney beats Keyshawn Davis, we really should be like, all of us, the box community, should be trying to get that rematch with Ryan Garcia. Not for the Haneys, for everybody. I think that's a great fight in boxing, period. I think the storyline was already there for the first fight with them fighting so many times in the amateurs. Now with everything, when you fast forward, now with everything there, with the allegations and, Ryan Garcia winning a world title now. So now it's a unification belt. It's a bigger fight, a way bigger fight. There's a lot more on the line. There's a lot more that we saw already. Way more people going to be invested. They did that first fight in New York. The second one has to be in Las Vegas, Nevada, and it will sell out quick. And you probably do pay-per-view for that, and they might do way more numbers than they did the first one, just because of the way the first one ended with all the drama. Mark 189, he said, "What are your honest thoughts on Fulton going into this fight? He could possibly be upset. I think Fulton's kind of been up and down, shaky. He got stopped by Inoue, and then blamed the weight, went up in weight, and he was dropped by Castro early in that fight. Came back to win though. Shout out to him. Beat Brandon Figueroa also. Shout out to him. And then he lost to Shockey Foster, but in the Shockey Foster thing, like, he blew weight, and he looked like he was in a fat camp the whole, like, every single presser we saw of him. Even before it was thrown on the Eastside Cruise and Lamont Roach, even when the fight was still on the Keith Thurman and Sebastian Fundora card, because that's where it started. Bro, he looked crazy overweight when he showed up to the presser. So I was like, damn, Fulton about to be in a fat camp. But then the fights kept getting delayed. So I was thinking, oh, maybe he going to be fine. Like, he going to slim down. And then he shows up and blows overweight. And shout out to Shockey Foster, because he didn't need to take the fight. Still takes the fight and beats the brakes essentially off Fulton, man. So I'm not saying Liam Wilson is Shockey Foster by any means. But I think Liam Wilson, he pushed Valdez, he pushed Navarrete to a certain point. So if he could push some of those guys who are, very aggressive fighters, awkward punchers, he may have some success against Fulton, who kind of like hasn't looked the greatest lately, man, to be honest. Shout out to Beats Skull. What's going on, bro, with the Black Goku? What's good, bro? He said Jermaine Ortiz is shiftier, better footwork, and upper body movement than Devin. I got Keyshawn in 11. Okay. You got Keyshawn Davis with the stoppage. Salute, man. Alberto in the building. What up, Alberto? It's my guy. Big Sixes, Alberto. What up, bro? He said, Ryan, is Edgar Berlanga on upset alert this weekend? Yeah. He is, bro. But I don't know. Edgar Berlanga, I don't know if he's in boxing space or if he's in music space, man. Like, if he just doesn't love the sport no more, because I don't know. He didn't look interested at the press conference, that they had that was with the Ryan Garcia and Conor Ben. He just looked kind of like, I'm not going to say disinterested. He just didn't look like he was up for the fight, like maybe Stephen Butler's a guy that, he's not motivated to fight, but I think Stephen Butler, his issue too is he's been stopped a few times, like I think 4 or 5 times. I think he's been stopped by 3 champions and then 2 other guys who, I think Patrice Vonleh actually stopped him, which I was surprised by. Shout out to Patrice Vonleh. He needs another shot at something. But yeah, Stephen Butler's been stopped, so he's kind of like tailor-made for Edgar, right? But I think Edgar Berlanga, like, I don't know, man, his skills don't really match with his hype, right? Like, I don't think he's a top-tier fighter. I don't even know if he beats the A-plus fighters at 168. I don't know if he beats guys like Darius Fulgrim, Beck the Bully, who I think are A guys right now, like right on the cusp of being world title shots. They're all right there. I don't think he beats Fulgram or Beck the Bully, or let's take a look who else is up there, man. Diego Pacheco. I don't know if he beats him either, man. I think those guys all beat up on Edgar Berlanga, but we'll see, man. We'll see what happens, man. Shout out to my guy Alberto. He's like me, man. I think Edgar's on upset alert for sure. Shout out to Mark. He said, Tank, Boots, and Fulton got me in the boxing, man. Hate to see how Fulton and Tank are going out. Yeah, Tank Davis got to get his thing, his situation situated, right? I think he's got to take care of that, man. Before he thinks about coming into boxing, or he can do it, right? But there'll be a lot of distractions for sure around his name and his fights. But yeah, we'll see what happens with Tank Davis, man. But yo, if y'all just got in here, man, make sure you hit the like button. We only got 8 likes, man. Come on, let's get the likes up. Smash that like button like Ann Wolf, yo.
Did not really fight her.
Yeah, man, it's over. It's over. Salute to everybody in the building. Let me drop the links again. I'm gonna keep going through the topics here, and then if you're trying to jump on and talk, then we will get you up in here. But that is the Discord and the X Spaces link for the call-in show. Salute to everybody in the building, and drop some memberships, free memberships. But if you want to join, we have a little bit of betting crew. Every weekend I try to drop a couple slips in the community page for the members. Last weekend I went goose egg. Yo, that wasn't cool, man. I thought Diego Pacheco would have went decision, but shout out to him. He got the stoppy on a lean. And I thought Andy Cruz was going to go the distance too, but Andy Cruz, he got his guy out very early, man. So that was a tough weekend last weekend for me. But nonetheless, man, we still here rocking out. I've only had probably 2 weekends like that where I just missed totally, bro. But yeah, Zuffa Boxing. Berlanga and Butler. Richard Hitchens, man, dropped his belt, moving up to welterweight. What do we think about Hitchens? He's been in the news for some things, telling on his buddies. I thought Hitchens, he funny, man, for telling on Tank Davis like that. His situation just, Hitchens talking to the man there from, I think, Fight Hype, like they was in the back, man, like they weren't live streaming. But Ricardo Salas, he got that stoppage over Roman Villa. I think that was last year on the Canelo. I think it was the Canelo and Berlanga card. So that might have been 2 years ago, maybe. But anyways, he got the stoppage on that card. I haven't seen Ricardo Salas since. He maybe have, fought on some smaller cards. That's why I haven't seen him. But I think Hitchens, I got reservations with him with the Duarte thing, but I'm a boxing fan, man. I think that sometimes you just got to let it go to bed and got to give a guy another chance, man. I want to see if Hitchens can impress us this weekend. And how can he impress me is if he totally annihilates Ricardo Salas. Get him out of there, show your class, show that this guy doesn't belong with you. Now, if he has a Lemos performance against Salas, that's not going to be good for Hitchens, man, especially with his debut on Zuffa. So we'll see, man, what happens with Richard Hitchens. I think he's kind of like put himself in a corner with the public because of the way he handled the Duarte situation. A lot of us just feel like, he ducked out the fight last minute. I don't know if he's scared. I don't think he was scared of Duarte. I think he either just had a bad weight cut. But then he went on to say it was money, man. So this is why I'm like, I don't know what to believe with Hitchens because, first they said, food poison? And then it came out money wasn't right. Yeah, the stories just kept adding up, piling up. And that's not cool, man. I'm not here for that. Like, if you say one thing, just stand on it, bro. Why do you got to keep bringing in new excuses over time to try to explain why you pulled out of a fight, man? It should be the one excuse and that's it, man. We shouldn't have mixed stories or mixed emotions about what happened in the fight. And then we got Edgar Berlanga back in New York at the Garden, the theater. The theater, boy. They back in the theater. He's headlining against Stephen Butler, the Canadian from Montreal here. We'll see, man. We'll see. I think Stephen Butler, he's durable in a sense. Like, I feel like he's only, like, his bad stoppage has been against champions and, like, top opposition. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if Edgar Berlanga is of that caliber of the guys that have stopped Stephen Butler. And I'm talking about more recent Stephen Butler, you know what I'm saying? But who knows, man? Who knows what we'll see, what we'll get. But shout out to my guy Beats. He said Munguia and Billy, Lester Martinez, Berlanga not messing with those guys. No, he not, bro. You're absolutely right. Can't mess with those guys. Those guys will absolutely destroy him. And I think that's the general consensus over here. But I think Berlanga, you know, he's good for what he does with the press conferences, talking. But that's why I was surprised he wasn't on the hot mic, you know, with the presser. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe he's changed. Maybe he got humble pie from Hamza Shiraz, right? Maybe. Shout out to Alberto. He said, agree, Ryan. Berlanga is a clown. Damn, bro. I wasn't saying all that. I don't think he a clown. Like, I just don't think he, you know, as good as he propped up to be. That's all. I think Top Rank kind of showed us that when they stopped propping him up, you know, the way they talked about him, other people. This is the fight, though, on the Zuffa card that I do want to see. Shout out to Jaleel Hackett, man. He always in some tough fights, bro. Y'all ever watch Jaleel Hackett? I would say if you never watched him, you got to watch this fight. If there's any fight on the Zuffa card and like you don't want to watch the whole thing, watch this fight. This fight going to be an absolute war, man. You know, Jaleel Hackett versus Sergey Deverenchenko. These are two come-forward fighters. Both of these guys, they're going to meet in the middle. They're going to go to war. I think the first fighter to move back might lose, bro. That's how the fight might go, man. Deverenchenko, he's had close fights with Triple G, you know, Danny Jacobs, Jaime Munguia. You know, some people like myself thought he was low-key winning the fight until he got dropped. So Deverenchenko's been in there with the top. He's been in there with champions, elite fighters. Jaleel Hackett's always kind of been almost there, right? He's always wanted to be there. This is the kid who was signed to Mayweather Promotions, trying to get the names. He went over to Matchroom, trying to get the fights. Didn't work out. Found himself at Zuffa. I think this is Jaleel Hackett's second Zuffa fight. Sergey Deverenchenko's first. This is a major step up for Hackett, but this is one of those tests he wants. This is the fight. If he wins, he knows where he's at. Even though Deverenchenko's a little bit older, probably past his prime, this is a guy who's been in there, man. He just went to war with Mbili with one hand, pretty much, Deverenchenko. So we know he's durable. We know who he is, man. We know what he can do. I'm excited. I'm excited for this fight, bro. If there's any fight on the docket of this Zuffa card I'm going to be watching, it's this one for sure. Jaleel Hackett and Deverenchenko. This is the one, man. This is the one to get everybody popping, get the whole arena rocking, man. Shout out to Mark 189. He said Berlanga is a promoter at heart. Yeah, pretty much, bro. Shout out to Berlanga, though. He doing this thing, man, with the promotion. Just not this fight. He hasn't really been actively talking this fight, even like coming into it. I think the only thing that I saw that I heard from him that I thought was interesting was that he said he said that he wanted Richard Hitchens to be headline. So I was kind of caught off guard by that. I was like, okay, I don't know why, you know, he wanted him to headline. I mean, I'm not disrespecting Hitchens. I just don't think, you know, he sells more than Edgar. That's all. But we got a video here, man, to watch. Oscar dropped it, yo. He dropped the clap back Thursday. So I figured, hey, why don't we tune into that? I haven't watched it yet, but it's like 3 minutes long. Shout out to Oscar Taylor. He always doing these videos, gang. I don't know, man. What's wrong with Oscar? But here, let's take a look at it, man. Let's take a look. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear it though. I'm pretty sure I got it in the right one.
It's on the wall. And Uncle Fester, fuck you. And remember, kids, you're never a hater if you only speak the facts. It's your favorite time of the week again. Time for the only segment in boxing that gives you the facts and makes you laugh. It's Clapback Thursday. So I saw the Odyssey the other day.
Great movie.
It was about the Greeks and how they invaded the city of Troy by disguising themselves inside a Trojan horse. They tricked their enemies to get inside their gates. And the rest is history, man. Today, Zuffa Boxing is the Trojan horse. They are overpaying a few boxers to make it seem like this big money will continue. But it won't.
The money faucet just keeps a-flowing.
Once they monopolize the sport
Oscar
like they
stepping
want
up,
to,
man.
They're a sneaky bunch of fucks.
Zuffa will pay fighters peanuts.
It's a scam.
Exactly like the UFC. It's the same model.
It's not right. It's not right.
They want to change the Muhammad Ali Act so they can operate as their own league with their own rules, their own rankings, their own unicorn belts.
What kind of gay club is this?
They're luring in the biggest names for fight-by-fight deals. No long contracts.
Fuck them. They don't know.
That's why you see Shakur and Connor signing a 1 or 2 fight deal. Never a long-term deal. But again, this is the Trojan horse.
This is how they work you.
They are overpaying the household names in order to look pretty and gain credibility. So more up-and-coming fighters will sign with them. And mark my words, once they get you to sign, they're going to scale all payment back, just like they have with the UFC.
That's when they get you, still.
That's the goal.
It's not right. It's not right.
Look, the problem is the younger generation feels this kind of money will be available to them at Zuffa Boxing, but the truth is
It all fucked.
that they'll be tricked into a very shitty contract where they must fight for only the unicorn belt, the Zuffa belt,
The fuck is that?
and the ring belt, which lost all its credibility.
Now who's a fraud?
It's now a joke. Here's an example of how they're already making up their own rules. Ring Magazine rules state that if you fail to schedule a fight in 2 years against a top 5 contender, you will be stripped. That means Jai Obatai should have been stripped in May because he chose to fight a cab driver
Oscar be
in
listening to me,
Zuffa's
'cause I said
basement
that.
instead of a top 5 contender.
You remember that?
But Ring Magazine didn't strip him. Why?
Because they're complicit.
Because Zuffa makes up their own rules. Even the IBF stripped Jai Obatai of their belt because they don't recognize the Zuffa unicorn belt
I don't recognize him.
that they keep trying to
The
push
unicorn
down
belt.
fighters' throats.
Yeah, nobody wants that.
And poor Jai Obatai, I feel so bad for him because Zuffa has him suing the IBF on their behalf.
You use him.
He's literally fighting the legal fight for Zuffa. It's truly disgusting.
Damn shame.
Look, once they have their monopoly, nobody will get paid anymore. They need all of you to be hooked in by this ridiculous overspending you're seeing right now. But that cannot be sustained. Just like Live Golf. So don't be the city of Troy, guys. Don't sell out.
What's a sellout?
And don't open your fucking doors. The writing is on the wall. And Uncle Fester, fuck you.
This guy. Yo, honestly, I didn't like that clapback, bro, because it sounds like he's scared. He's scared, bro. He's scared of some competition, you know. But Oscar De La Hoya should know, just like freaking, you know what I'm saying? Just like with Al Heyman came in and when DAZN came in, they all did the same thing. They all dumped a bunch of money in the game. Now I get it. Turkey Al-Sheikh and Dana White Zuffa, they got a lot more money than what DAZN came in with. I don't know with the PBC. I think the PBC came in with CBS. They came in with like cable networks. They came in on Spike TV. They was on cable. So they came in with probably a different bag, really, the PBC did. And Oscar's been down this road before because he had all his fighters leave from the PBC to the PBC road. That's how Golden Boy really went to the tank, bro. When he wasn't paying attention, let Richard Schaefer do all them things, and then Richard Schaefer wasn't paying attention either. and PBC just swooped in and took all they guys, bro. Took the whole roster. The roster was set up. Took it all. Gone. But he doesn't want to pay attention. So I think this time around, he's trying to do damage control, but it looks bad because it's like, bro, this is competition, man. This is the field. You know, Zuffa not really supposed to come in here and play nice with you. For what? Like, for what, bro? They gonna play dirty, bro. If you got your P's and your Q's lined up on your side, you should be fine, man. You ahead of the game. You know, this is not the other way around, Oscar. You're not playing catch up. But because of the way they act, because of the way they've been conducting business for so long, you know what I'm saying? It's one of them things where now they got to compete, bro. They really got to compete. Put your money up. Bring the fight. That's what we all just been asking for. I don't know why it took them so long, right, to get to this point. It took Dana White pairing up with Turkey Al-Sheikh and TKO Group finally getting into boxing. Spend some money to say, for these promoters to say, yeah, let's work together, man. So we all know it could have happened, would have happened, should have happened, but they were taking advantage of the fans, clearly. And yeah, I didn't like that clapback, man, because it shows me that Oscar De La Hoya, he don't really want to compete, man. He trying to blame other people, right? Like my man Ismi Rock Lee said, blame yourselves, man. Oh, shout out to you, bro, for jumping in the stream too. He said, blame yourselves for allowing Zuffa into the game by not making the best fights. Let capitalism win. Hey, man, you can try to. I think boxing is probably the hardest sport to be a capitalist in, to be honest. There's just too many entities, bro. And they're like entities that are not in America. They're entities everywhere. So you can't govern the world. You just can't. That's why boxing's like the most corrupt sport. There's no police for it. Even though Zuffa's trying to make their own, they're trying to make their own police station with the UBO. Shout out to Mark. He said, you know, there's a problem when De La Hoya is the voice of reason. Yeah, bro. Shout out to Dwayne Styles in the building. Salute, brother. WP36 said he's right. Zuffa is live golf. Yeah, bro. Shout out to user by 3YU. What's going on, man? He said Oscar right, though. Yeah, you like what Oscar was saying? I mean, he's right, but I just don't like how he's saying it. He's saying it like we should feel sorry for him or something. Like, nah, bro. If you make the fights, the right fights, you'll be fine. The fans will still show up, man. Rico from Naptown, what up, man? Salute my brother. Rico, always showing support, man, on X. I appreciate it, brother. Reposting the streams. I appreciate the love, man. WP36, he said part of the competition is limiting the amount of competition. Never permanent allies. Only permanent interest. Okay. He says Zuffa is good for mid-level boxers who don't have the profile for major deals and for young fighters who want a deal right away. Yeah, I agree with the mid-level fighters. I still struggle with the young fighters because I don't know what their system is like with the development standpoint, because when people talk about development, you're talking about giving a guy certain type of fights, certain type of matchups. You know, obviously they're not going to be facing undefeated fighters all the time. You know, you try to pass them through these tests. You know, you say, how's he going to look in a 6-rounder with a guy who's a pressure fighter? How's he going to look in an 8-rounder with a guy who can box? You know, you start to see those things along the process, and you gauge a fighter. And at some point you say, hey, should we invest in him? Is he worth the investment? You know, is he worth being in the machine? You know, giving him that promotion? Is he going to pan out? Or do we scale back, man? And he got to show us something. I mean, we've seen it with certain guys where we think they should be further ahead and they just never get further ahead because the promotional company just doesn't really believe in them. That's what it comes down to. Don't believe in them, or the numbers that they're pulling in just ain't match the talent that they display, right? But we'll see, man. We'll see what we got here for topic 3, man. We'll talk about Breeden Harden, man. This man, he's the guy in charge at the DAZN right now, making the moves for the DAZN North America, I believe. Shout out to this guy, man. Breeden or Braden, I hope I'm saying it right. I think it's Braden Harden. He pretty much assembled the zone what it is today by getting Top Rank there and the PBC there. Now, one can say, well, they got nowhere else to go. I mean, that's true, but we also thought PBC was going to go to DAZN after Showtime. They ended up going to Amazon. So obviously there was some convincing. There was some stuff that was reached, some deals in both parties. And Top Rank, who was on Tubi, they were on Tubi after the ESPN. You know, they were kind of floating around as free agents. You know, he gathered them over there too to make that gauntlet, to really make the DAZN Ultimate package worth a better price, man, than what they're selling it as. Right now, you got a better argument to walk to the table with to buy it. You say, yeah, you're paying a little bit more than we all expected, obviously, but we got everybody in one spot, essentially, right? You got everybody in one spot, which is, I don't know if it's ever been like this in boxing before, where we had all the promoters in one home. My historians, y'all gotta let me know. I don't know. I know HBO was big back in the day, but then I know Showtime came in the picture, right? At some point. So I just think this is really good for boxing, man. What Braden's doing. You know, he was the guy at OTX making those matchups. Those OTX cards were amazing. And he's bringing that whole vibe to the zone boardroom. You know, he's going in there saying, he's obviously the guy saying, Virgil, we don't want that Earl Spence smoke. We're not paying for that. We want you to fight Boots Ennis. You know, those are the type of fights that he's coming through with. You know, Teofimo Lopez will sign you, but you got to fight Rolly Romero, man. Those are good fights. You know, we may not have asked for that fight, but it's still a good matchup, right? And I think as long as these guys are doing these type of things, and we'll see what they do with Haney. Yo, man, shout out to him, man. He'll be around for a while. He'll be in business for a while, my man. You know, Braden Harden, man. He's going to be around for a while doing his thing because for him to essentially save the zone in America is what I'm looking at, bro. He's saving it, bro. Because Eddie Hearn came here how many years ago? Eddie Hearn signed Devin Haney. He had Canelo over there at one point. And he still couldn't make it in, bro. He still couldn't do it. So I just look at it like, you know, I don't know, man. I don't think that this guy's gonna mess it up, bro. I think he's doing a great job. I think he's gonna keep that DAZN boat floating. He's gonna keep it going, man. And I think I like what he's doing, man. I just wanted to give him his flowers quick because I don't think he's spoken enough about. And everybody thinks, okay, it's still Eddie Hearn, but nah, man, Eddie Hearn, he tried to make a splash in America, but it just didn't pan out the way he thought it was gonna pan out. That's all, man. And it's tough, man. It's tough when you it's like, you know, it's even tough for me. Like, I'm Canadian, right? So I know a lot of people they probably look at me as more of an outsider, so they don't relate to me. I probably say things a little bit different. I know that for sure. I'm from Toronto, right? So I speak a little different, come from a different cultural background. So I can understand why the typical American wouldn't even, you know, relate to me. They'd rather go listen to their favorite American, right? But at the same time, I'm just like, I'm in my lane, right? I'm in my lane, staying in my lane. I'm not really trying to be somebody I'm not. Keeping it boxing at the same time, man. That's what I got to do because I know, look, I'm not American, bro. So I'm not speaking for American boxing. This is all from the Canadian perspective, yo. What I'm seeing from the outside looking in. And right now we got Frank Martin, the ghost. He done signed to Top Rank, man. What do y'all think about Frank Martin to Top Rank? It gave me a head scratcher. I'm not going to lie to y'all. It gave me a head scratcher, but then I said to myself, you know, maybe Top Rank will keep him busy. Like maybe Frank Martin will be in some fights, man. He'll have some activity, you know, shout out to Frank Martin. I think he's managed by Adrian Clark, I believe. And Adrian Clark always finds a way, man. You know what I'm saying? He always finds a way to do things for his guys. He's a great manager, Adrian Clark. Hopefully I can get him on the show one day. Yeah, I think he's also the manager, Earl Spence. But I think the biggest question for me is this a co-promotional deal? Because I know Earl Spence had Frank Martin on Man Down Promotions. So what is this deal? Like what type of deal is it? Is it co-promotional? Is it is it a one-off? Like what kind of deal is it, right? Because I thought that Frank Martin was with Errol Spence. I don't know if they've decided to part ways. Maybe they just had a mutual agreement and scrap the contract. Maybe it was a handshake deal because Errol Spence was talking in the interview with Andre Ward and said he had a handshake deal with Al. So maybe Frank Martin and him had a handshake deal. So there wasn't any real ties there for either man to break away from. I don't know, man. I don't know what's gonna happen with Frank Martin next. I'm trying to even think of the guys that Top Rank has over there for him at 140. I don't think they have a lot of guys at 140 for him. I think 140 is kind of shallow. I mean, they could put him in there with Jermaine Ortiz. They usually call on Jermaine Ortiz a lot, and Jermaine Ortiz is a tough fighter. I think he's a guy that we all look at as he's a tough out for most guys. So they could put him in there with that guy, Jermaine Ortiz. But let me take a look at the rankings, because BoxRec, shout out to Montreal 26. He said, "Can I come up?" For sure, man. If you want to cam up like on the panel, I got that link. But if you want to just audio, I got the Discord, and that's the panel link there. But call my show. But I got the Discord rocking and the X Spaces, which is pinned to the chat. I can always throw it up again there for you guys, which I will. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Smash that like button. You guys know what it is. We need some more people up in here. We talking boxing, man. That's what I like to do over here, man. Talk the boxing. But I'm pretty much like almost done to my topics anyway, so we opening it up anyways. But yeah, Frank Martin, I don't know who he's gonna fight at 140, to be real. I don't know. I don't know, man, because I look at Top Rank like they don't have a lot of 140s outside of Keyshawn Davis at 147, right? He's gonna go fight you know what I'm saying? He's gonna go fight Devin Haney. But yeah, that's true, WP. Like now that the promotions are under DAZN, I'm sure we'll see the cross promotion fights, because like it looks like Top Rank, Todd LaBeouf, Carl Moretti, they've been very friendly with making the cross promotion fights. They've been doing it a lot. So yeah, man, I think you're absolutely right. They will make those fights. We'll see, man. We'll see what happens. But Frank the Ghost Martin is on Top Rank. Maybe Top Rank brings him back to Detroit, man. Or maybe they throw him on a Salida Promotions card to be in Detroit as well. So he can I'm not gonna say get his profile up, but have a fight back home in Michigan. I don't know if Frank Martin's ever fought in Michigan since he's been a high level pro. I think it'd be good for him to get back home in front of his family, people like that, and have a good fight, man. But we shall see, man. We shall see. I'm a fan of Top Rank. I like the way they handle their people. But I think when you get to a certain point at Top Rank, it's probably best for you to leave. I think they're more of a development company. They develop you. And if you don't meet the certain criteria, you're not going to get the push, bro. So get your development in. If you get the push, good for you. If you don't, you got to go somewhere else and find the fights, because I think they'll just eventually either cut you or throw you to the wolves, man. So you either got to pick which one you want to go with, right? Got to pick your fate. But we'll see, man. We'll see what happens with Frank Martin. I like him. I like Frank Martin, man. I think he's a good fighter. Tank Davis is his only loss. He had that draw with Nair Albright. And Nair Albright, shout out to him. He was fighting like a dog in that fight, man. He almost stopped Frank Martin too, man. That was a tough fight, bro, for Frank Martin. So, and I think that was that wasn't his debut. That was the second fight at 140. I think the Rantis Barthélemy, that was his first fight. But yeah, we'll see, man. Shout out to WP. He said, yeah, Top Rank doesn't lose money. Swim? or sink after the development period has expired. Yeah, man, they're not gonna re-sign you to waste more money on you. They'll just drop you. Or if they feel like you turning too many fights away, that's another reason for them to drop you too, man. So I think Top Rank has a system. They got a way they run their system. And you as a fighter, you just got to understand, you may not stay at Top Rank your whole career because of the way their system is geared, man. I think even Keyshawn Davis, he's still like probably on the edge of their system. You know, he's not quite mainstream yet. Like he can't really hold a massive show outside of probably the DMV area. Like we'll see what he does with Devin Haney fight. But he's getting there. He's almost there, and he's got that machine behind him now. That's why they throwing him in the Haney fight. They even said they bid big money for the fight, Top Rank, because they're confident in Keyshawn Davis. So, you know, they're headhunting Devin Haney, man. They still got, you know, reservations about him leaving after the Lomachenko fight and heading up to 140, right? They wanted him to stick around, try to fight Shakur Stevenson. They wanted to get that one done, but it didn't get done. So, you know, Devin headed off. So now they're probably thinking, yeah, we got him now, 147. We're going to get him. Hopefully we can send our guy Keyshawn Davis in to get the job done, right? That's probably what they're thinking, man. But we'll see, man. We'll see what they say. Salute to everybody in the building, man. Yeah, Devin Haney, yep, versus Keyshawn Davis is fire. No, for sure, man. Make sure y'all smash that like button when you come in, man. Like Ann Wolf, you know what I'm saying?
Did not really fight her.
Shout out to my guy, Montreal. He wanted to come up. Yeah, you're welcome to come up, bro. I put the panel link in there, as well as the Discord and the X Spaces. If you don't have those, might be out of luck. You might just have to use the panel link, which is, you got to cam up though on the panel link. I will say that anybody coming on the panel, you do got to use the camera. So if you cool with that, I'm cool with that. Just as long as, you know, you don't come up here and do some weird stuff, because we done had some people go on other shows doing some things, man. Doing some weird things, bro. And yeah, we got a $20 super chat goal for the stream. We already had the $5 from Anthony Forbes, so we down to 15. You drop a $2 super chat. We good off that, man. I appreciate all the support from everybody in the community. If you can't support with the super chat, then make sure you hit the like button. Sub to the channel, man. I really only want subs that come through, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't really care too much about having a big sub count, but I want to rock out with the people who rock out with me. You know what I'm saying? It's me, Rock Lee said, does Butler KO Berlanga? I can see an upset. He might, bro. He might. You know, thing about Steven Butler, he really dangerous early in the fight. You know, I think he gasses as the fights go on. But I think Berlanga's like the same thing. Like Berlanga's not trying to go in there and fight, you know, 10 rounds or whatever. I think it's a 10-round matchup. I don't think Berlanga's going in there. I think the only time Berlanga went in there to do that was against Canelo. He was going in to survive. But I don't think he goes in the fights to survive. I think Berlanga goes in there to stop it, guys. You know, and I think Steven Butler has that same mentality. So, safe pick, fight doesn't go the distance. That's what I would say. If you want a safe pick, fight doesn't go the distance. But yeah, bro. Let me check the lines on that, actually. Let me pull them up here. Check the lines. What's the odds on Steven Butler winning, man? Excuse me. Berlanga versus Butler. Yeah, I see the odds. Look, people got the tickets queued up, bro. They're trying to see the tickets. Hey, man, it's me, Rock Lee. That's not a bad bet if you pick Butler by money line. He's a plus 215, man. So, you know, the betting odds is favored Berlanga extremely heavy. He's a minus 305. So, yeah, that's a good. Oh, you got him at a plus 2. Where did I see? Oh, on the underdog, they got it at a plus 215. But on your whatever book you have, it's way better. Plus 250. That's a good line, man. I think if you want to sprinkle some money on that, for sure, that's a good bet. You know, I think Berlanga, if anybody on the card, it probably is Berlanga who gonna get upset, bro. You know, he's probably the guy who's gonna get upset for sure. Shout out to WP with the $5.33 super chat. There we go, toward the goal, man. We up to $10 now. We got 10 more to go. Drop them chips with the dip, bro.
I want my chips with the dip. That's all I know. I don't want my chips plain. I want my chips with the dip. So bring them dips.
Yeah. Salute to you, man. I appreciate that, man. It's me, Rock Lee said, and Liam Wilson is a plus 300. Oh, he's a plus 300. Damn. I might throw that down. And I might throw that down for y'all too in the members. I mean, if y'all want to rock out with that, sprinkle a little bit on that. Stephen Butler and Fulton, it's gotta be like a plus what? That's like a plus 500, 700 or 600, something like that. That'd be definitely a good little bet, man. Because both possibilities are realistic to happen, to be honest. You know, Stephen Fulton, when you look at him, his trajectory and what's going on, you know, he's going back down to 130. You know, we've seen him make 130 twice, and then the third time in the bigger fight where he's supposed to be motivated, fails to make weight. How does he deal with this camp? You know, is he serious? Is he in the gym with it? And then he got to fly to Australia and deal with travel. You know, so we don't know, man. This is Liam Wilson's backyard. So damn, if he's a plus 300 on a money line, he might even be able to squeak out a decision if he works hard enough. And like Navarrete, I think Navarrete stopped Liam Wilson and Valdez. Like both of them guys, they're always in firefights, man. So they had to dig deep and beat Wilson, yo. It wasn't an easy fight for either of those guys, man. Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody in the building, though, man. Y'all let me know if them links are working. Let me see if there's anybody on X Spaces. My bad, yo. I had the screen blocking it. Sorry about that. Man, Adam Hurley in the building. What up, bro? Salute. He said Berlanga belongs on the prelim. Fuck is this? Yeah, Berlanga is not on the prelims, bro. He's on the headline. He's the main guy, man. Like, he's the main guy. He's the main event. And though he said he wanted to be on the he wanted to be on the co-main, he wanted Hitchens to be the main. I don't know, man. How do we feel about that? Like, I think more people are probably coming out for Berlanga, especially Berlanga's got the Fat Joe. He's got the Terror Squad. You know, he got Brooklyn with him. But I'm pretty sure Hitchens, he from Brooklyn too. So, like, they should both. I don't know, man. I guess they're looking at it like a double header, Zuffa. But we'll see, man. They're trying to crack into New York. This is their first fight over on, I think, the East Coast, right? For Zuffa. Their first fight on the East Coast. So they probably just testing the waters with these guys. See how it is. You know, obviously, a guy like Shakur Stevenson, they could throw in, you know, in the Garden. As long as it's the right fight, bro. They could definitely put him in the Garden. But they can also bring him back to the Prudential Center, man, in Newark against Ryo. Like, they could do that. How much does the Prudential hold? Like $16K or something like that? That's what he'd be doing there. So, like, that's a good turnout for Shakur Stevenson. Ryo, he's a former champ. You know, he got a name. He got accolades. He brings something to the table, man. You know, Ryo's gonna be. He's not gonna be the best name we want him to fight, but he gonna be all right, man. Adam Hurley said, "You like Zuffa, Rod, bro? Yo, most people think I hate Zuffa, bro. And that's only because I'm not like the Zuffa guys. I think the Zuffa guys, they like crazy. Like, they talk to you like Zuffa is the end all be all. Like, Zuffa's the best thing, and I'm just not that guy, man. I'm not that guy because I live in reality, bro. The reality is DAZN still got all the best fighters. So I can't live in reality. But yeah, I like Zuffa, bro. I'm a Zuffa guy. I love it. Shit, I got stock in Zuffa. I own Zuffa stock, bro. TKO Group. like, I'm with it, bro. I like Zuffa. I like where they're going. I like the fact they added competition. I like the fact that they're making DAZN And all these promoters on the other side shake and have to work together now. We seeing what they doing. Their influence is making the best fights. And now the other side got to do the same thing. So I think Zuffa's good for the sport in that sense. Now, I don't agree with the Muhammad Ali Act thing. I think that's a little different story. But if they're going to say they're going to have a separate like league for that or UBO, whatever, they're going to have a separate thing and they're going to have traditional boxing still. But it's kind of weird because they still, like, they on the fence with it because they both in both quarters. So it's like, okay, so you made up this quarter. I don't know why you made up this quarter, maybe for your mid-level, low-level guys, and then you stayed on the other side of the fence still, trying to be there, trying to say you signed everybody. I don't know, man, but whatever. I mess with Zuffa, man. I like the Sunday boxing. Shout out to Teach in the building. What up, bro? He said, I do think Eddie Hearn is the best promoter out there, but I also rock with Zuffa. Yeah. You're like me, Teach, man. I'm in the same boat like him. But I'm not. I like all the promoters, bro, to be honest. There's not like one promoter where I'm like, I can't stand that guy because I think a lot of them are all the same people, to be honest. I think a lot of them have the same motives, to be honest. You know, they all trying to make the biggest dollar for their company. You know, and there's not too many promoters out there that are here for the fighters. You know, very few, bro. Like I said on my stream yesterday, the guy who shows me he's there for the fighters is the guy who incorporates some sort of a 401k account for one of these fighters that they sign. Any guy who does that shows me he's the guy who cares about a guy's well-being after retirement, because that's him putting aside the money. And it may not be a bunch of change, but thinking about it, bro, some shit grows after 30 years. You putting something in a pot, and then when you get to the bigger purse, think about that pot, man. It gonna compound, it gonna roll like snow, man. It gonna get bigger and bigger. But like, if you guys have nothing, and you 50 years old now, you got Parkinson's because of all the punching you've been doing, you know, you getting CTE, you got all this stuff going on, you ain't got no money in the bank, bro. You got to change your whole life, you know, where, you know, if you got something there, you know, Top Rank put that account away for you when you 50 or 55, 60, whatever. We 60 now. We ain't got to worry no more, man. We can send our kids to college, or if they're older now, whatever. I could retire. My faculties may be messed up, but I got money in the bank. I'm good. I could pay for that. But nah, bro. They don't do that, bro. They hand these dudes a check and they leave them alone. Or like Adrian Broner, bro, getting payments from Al Heyman, which is insane. Like, you getting payments. Like, what? The dude didn't hand you a check, bro. So you don't even know what you made. I feel bad for AB. He never had like a real, obviously he never had no accountant or nothing like that. Nobody to tell him like, you know, you should have, like, we should, like, Al Heyman should be telling you your numbers, bro. He never had that. So Adrian Broner could have well been the next Floyd Mayweather for real. He could have been making that money, close to that money, and he would never know because, you know, he probably never had interest in asking Al and just took what was given to him, bro. Teach said he's big on investing. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Investing's huge, bro. And like, I think a lot of people get scared of investing, but even if you just invest a little consistently, bro, it adds up. WP said if you support boxing, you only care about seeing the fights, not taking advantage of the boxers, not who the promotion company is. Yeah, bro. That's what I stand on, WP. That's why I can't get into these conversations with the Zuffa guys, because they too much on Zuffa head. They like Zuffa the end all be all. If you're not with Zuffa, they really sound like the PBC guys, which sounds crazy. It's like PBC left, right? Because PBC is not what it used to be. They don't got the Showtime deal, so they all had to humble themselves. They all had to eat humble pie at some point. But now the Zuffa guys, they sound just like how the PBC guys sounded when they had the Showtime deal. It's the same crowd, it's the same noise, the same talking points, bro. It's nasty work. Shout out to Teach. He said, I do the whole Roth, brokerage, and other accounts. Oh, shoot. Shout out to you, bro. I don't do the Roth. I do the brokerages, though. But I think maybe here in Canada, it's a little different, bro. It's a little different the way our shit's all set up in the sense of pensions and stuff like that. But I'm lucky enough to be at a company that puts in they match whatever we put in per year. So I'm actually hey man, that's why I probably will never be a full-time YouTuber, because I work at a pretty good company, man, with good stuff that my kids will be fine, man. I'll be fine. Said investing in Zuffa sounds like a good idea. Dana White is proven. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. I just see like Zuffa is probably gonna be here forever, you know, and that's what I'm looking at, and that's why I put a little bit of money in it, because I think it'll be here for a long time. It's me, Rock Lee. Said Boo. Thank you, Triple QM. Definitely on the Voo for sure, bro. Definitely. ZP or S&P 500. Hell yeah, bro. Yeah, S&P for sure, Cam. Yeah. Yeah, Voo is a great option. Absolutely, bro. Shout out to you guys, man. I'm glad y'all investing, bro, because I think, you know, some people sleep on that, bro. You know, you don't have to be the richest person in the world right now, but you can definitely set yourself up for the future for sure, man. For sure. But enough, yeah. They're probably like, why are you talking about investing, man? It's not an investing channel. But nah, man, these fighters need to learn to invest, some of them, because like I'm just shocked when they go broke. Like, I don't understand it. Like, you know, you guys should at least hire a team around you to put that money in a vault, man, or investment, stuff like that. You know, to where, or you just got to scale your life down. And I know a lot of them, boxing's a very egotistic sport, man. When y'all get around some of these boxers, there's a lot of ego, man. Not too many of these guys, you know, are humble. So there's a lot of ego, and a lot of them don't want to scale down the way they live. And you know, I get it, bro. They spend a lot of time training. They work their whole life for this. You know, Terrence Crawford spoke about it. He's been in the game for 30 years now. He's not a guy who's flashy. Shout out to him, man. He's a humble guy, but you see how the way he talks, he's dedicated 30 years to his life, man, to this stuff. So, you know, a lot of these guys feel like, look, I dedicated so much time, I should be able to spend the money on the fruits of my labor. But at the same time, you just gotta be, I think you guys just gotta be reserved with it, man. You gotta understand, like, look, bro, it's a marathon, not a race. Marathon, not a race. Like, yeah, you have some things for sure, man, but at some point you gotta, you know, scale it down, bro. Scale it down. Teach said, yeah, these boxers need to know these things. Nah, for real, man. And it's crazy because, like, I always thought there would be a market in boxing for people like that, like financial advisors and publicists, and, well, I don't know, I want to say publicists, but people who are like guidance, you know, people who are like consultants, like Al Heyman. But there's not a market, because a lot of these guys, you just can't tell. You know, a lot of them, they're in their ways. They are who they are. They fighters, man. They suit up and go to war. Like, that's how a lot of the mentality is. You're not gonna be the one to tell them. You know, that's how a lot of these guys are wired. They're very close corners with their teams. You know, they got their teams around them. So if their teams are not encouraging it to them, it's really hard to break through with these guys, man, and get their trust like that. But, you know, I think a lot of them could, you know, I think a lot of them need to even branding themselves more, man. They can become a brand, like, you know, they can be somebody who other brands call on to represent, you know, get them deals up. But, you know, they don't all do the media thing. Not a lot of them are media trained, so they don't go on the media tours. You know, that's why Ryan Garcia, I think he's in the position he's in, because he goes to all the media tours. He goes to the big shows. He does the TikTok thing. He does the streaming thing, which is huge right now for the kids. So he's got the next generation already golfed in him, and he's on mainstream TV. So I think there's a few things that, like, outside of boxing, some of these fighters can learn. But, you know, it is what it is, I guess. I don't think it'll ever change, to be honest, because at the same time, I don't want to put it all on the boxers, because we got promoters. We got people who call themselves promoters and then don't promote. like, bro, I always revert back to it. The Thomas Hearns, Marvin Hagler, how, like, they did 21 cities, man. They did 21 cities, and we can't even get a tour for 3 or 4. We can't even get these guys to get it together and go on a 3 or 4 city tour. We can't, bro. Like all these marquee fights that we're having, they should all have tours. We should all be having an opportunity from each coast to see these guys. Invite the media. That's another thing too. They don't invite the media, man. They terrible to some of the media. Some of the guys are friendly with it. I'm not gonna say every promoter, but most of these promoters, they picking and choosing which media they want in there because they want a certain narrative in there. So they're gonna pick the people who big them up the most. Where I think you got to pick everybody because you need the negative people there too. The negative people drive people in there too. They're gonna drive people to the fight too, man, whether you like it or not. So I think the promoters they fuck with it. I think everybody can do a better job of promoting in boxing, man, for sure. But shout out to Rico, man. He on there on the spaces. Shout out to you, bro. I see you there. Thought I had somebody just sign in on the Discord, man. Yeah, we got the links in the chat if you guys want to jump up here and talk about anything boxing. Those are my thoughts on the topics at hand. We talked about Devin Haney's deal. We talked about Frank Martin joining Top Rank. We talked about, what was topic number 2, man, that I had there? We had Zuffa on Sunday, yep. So we talked about Zuffa. We talked about a little bit of everything, bro. You know what I'm saying? My man WP said, unfortunately, historically, the managers and financial staff want to keep the boxers ignorant so they could take advantage of them. Yo, WP, that's exactly what I'm saying, bro. You're absolutely right. And like that's why I thought there'd be a market for somebody to come in there, not take advantage of the fighters, but show the fighters, hey, bro, you guys are the product, man. Without you guys, there's no fights, bro. So you guys got to start not even demanding more money, just demand more perks, man. Try to talk to these promoters to promote you more. Put more dollars behind your marketing teams and put your face out there more, right? It's me, Rock Lee said, for real, Tampa, Orlando could fill up an arena with a Puerto Rican. Yeah, bro. Especially Orlando, right? Like I've been to Tampa. Tampa's nice, man. I like Tampa. That's where we usually go every March with my family, Tampa. But Orlando, from what I hear, Orlando got hella Puerto Ricans, man. So they can definitely, don't the Magic play out there, man. Shout out to We Fight All Night TV, my brother, man. What's going on, man? Salute. Teach says Spence and Zoo too. Yeah, they fighting this weekend, bro. I think we all gonna be packed around the TV to see how Errol Spence looks, to be honest. But shout out to Tim Zoo if he can get the job done. Whew. Bro, Errol Spence might have to retire, man. Just to be real, and I don't even know if he should be in there, man. We'll see though. WP36 said, "Yep, man. Marketing and promotion is crucial. You can have the best product, but if no one knows about it, how you get your product, the value is diminished, bro. That's the truth. Like there's so many guys that we see that have talent, pass the eye test and just never get a shot. Or they get the shot when they're late in their career, when their best days are behind them, right? And I'm not with that no more, man. I want to see these promotions, these promoters do their job. And this is the one thing, and some people gonna be like, yo, he's a Zuffa guy. No. But Zuffa does a great job of that. When they sign a guy, they put the poster out, they make sure they have a media tour with them, and then they bring them to their other events. I'm not saying that Top Rank's got to do that. I'm not saying that PBC's got to do that. But what you got to do is, if you're going to announce a signing, you got to have a tour, a press tour. You got to do it, bro. And I think it's the best. You have a signing, and if it's a prospect, you throw him on a fight card. Hey, so people know, so he can say when he at wherever he at, yo, you can find me on the undercard of so-and-so. I'm going to be opening it up. These are things I don't feel is rocket science. I don't feel like it's out of like I'm not writing a promotional book. The shit's been done before. It's just the promoters we have today are lazy. The people that are in office there are lazy. They should be out there doing them things. The fighters, it should be in their contracts that these are your media obligations. You should have to do a certain amount of media per month. I just, if I was running my shit, that's what I would say to these guys. I said, yo, man, I don't care if it's a YouTube channel. I don't care if it's your best friend's channel. But you gotta do these amount of interviews per month. Do once a week. You gotta do one interview a week. Set up something, bro. I pay you to be a professional boxer. All you do is box. So talk about your career, man. Big up your career. That's all I'm saying, bro. That's all they gotta do. But yeah, man. We'll see. We'll see what happens with these fighters, these promoters, man. If they shout out to Zuffa Boxing, because I think they are pushing them in that direction. You can see them all, man. They score. You know what I'm saying? They starting to definitely act like they supposed to be acting, man. They not doing that weird stuff no more. Where we getting all these fights we didn't ask for. We starting to get some competitive fights, man. I'm happy about that. A shout out to Boxing Wiz in the building. What up, champ? He says Stephen Fulton ain't do nothing so far this week. For real. Except the face. Yeah, bro. Stephen Fulton's crazy, man. Stephen Fulton, yeah, man. I don't know what he's up to, bro. But yeah, my brother, man, he coming up with a fight. He fighting on August 27th. He's fighting on August 27th at the Mississauga Convention Center here in Canada, Ontario. Getting ready to fight, man. Another big fight night for him. Yeah, bro. Make sure y'all go follow him. Joshua Frazier, man. 15-0 right now. 12 KOs. 6'3" southpaw, bro. You know, he's really I call him the Fundora crusher, bro. I think if we get to Fundora, he gonna be the one, man. He got the dimensions to deal with that guy. Damn, bro. I wish I had that knockout, man. He ain't got it on here. Nah, somebody must have tagged him on it. Let me see. Somebody must have tagged him, bro. Here's this guy, man, working out. That's my little brother too, yo. All right, is this it? No, that's not it, bro. Nah, somebody must have tagged him in it, bro. That was a good knockout. He's had a few good knockouts that I enjoy. Here's him on the track. Yeah, man. Damn. This is my pop's gym, yo. My dad got that small. I swear to God, bro, that ring is probably like an 8x8, bro. It ain't nothing more than that, yo. So when you in there, bro. When you in there sparring and stuff like that, you in there. Shout out to Lennox Lewis. That was my brother. Lennox Lewis, my brother standing beside Troy Ross, 2-time Olympian there. I don't know if you guys remember Troy Ross. If you guys watch the Contender Series, Troy Ross, he won the Contender Series against Hollywood Hino, and then he went on to fight Steve Cunningham for the Cruiserweight IBF title. This Lennox Lewis, obviously, I don't need to explain who Lennox Lewis is to y'all. Shout out to Lennox. He was on him and my dad were on the national team together for Canada. And then this guy on the end here is Egerton Marcus, the guy who I'm trying to get on the channel, man, still. He was not 92, what was 90 before that? 88 Seoul Olympics silver medalist in his weight class. Shout out to him, man. Egerton Marcus. Yeah, this was Troy Ross. My dad brought Troy Ross to 2 Olympic Games. You know, and my dad coached in both of them. Yeah, bro. And everybody said, "Yo, you hate Muhammad Ali." That's right in my dad's gym, man. I don't got nothing against Muhammad Ali. My dad, that's his favorite boxer, bro. Like, I grew up watching Muhammad Ali, bro. Yeah, that's and my brother's coming up, man. He's getting ready. He's working, man. I think that's when my dad was fixing the ring. Yeah, that's bro there, man. 6'3", southpaw. You know, he makes weight easy because he used to have to make weight on same day weigh-ins. We had that rule here in Canada, same day weigh-ins, until a couple years ago they changed it. This was when my brother went to Florida. He said there was a gym down in Florida. I think he said in Miami. It was like all Cubans, man, and pulled up on Luis Ortiz there. I think my brother, he also sparred with Troy Isley too. Let me see if he got any footage or anything there too. He sparred with Troy. And then he also sparred with Jahad Tucker. I don't think there's anything with that with Jahad Tucker though. At least I didn't see it, bro. Jahad Tucker one. It's a video. I'm not playing. Oh, 23 seconds. That's great. Oh, man. Oh, this is on the side, man. They didn't put this right, man. What the hell? Hold on. Maybe this is it, man. Drop that boy. That was a dirty knockout, bro. I think that was a fight my brother just took to take because he just wanted to stay active. That guy wasn't great at all, but shout out to that dude, man. He didn't need to get in there for that. He didn't need to go through all that, bro. Not at all, man. Oh, man. Shout out to WP. He said, I really like the idea of putting in the contract obligated number of media appearances, legacy media or social, man. Why I care about you if you don't know me? Yeah, exactly, bro. That's a fact, bro. He said, you got a prediction for Keyshawn versus Haney? Not right now, bro. No. I ain't got no prediction. That's a good fight, bro. That's a good fight. Shout out to Boxing Way. He said, what weight your brother fight at? 154, man. 154. He fights at, man. Trying to see if there's any other footage of his fights. I know this one here. Yeah, there was one. He had a Mexican guy who kept headbutting him. I was like, bro, freaking move your head. Don't let this guy headbutt you. He just gets in that mode sometimes. Oh, those are just pictures. Yeah, that's my bro. I think it was this fight, bro. Oh, no. Ain't got it. Salute to the bro, man.
Being in the gym felt good to me. The rhythm, the sound of the bags, the bell. And sacrifice is a part of the game. My family understands what I'm doing, but I didn't even know how much I've sacrificed, bro. I haven't watched my nephews grow up, my family do their thing, but I've also been winning. And when I do win, I get to see my family celebrate together, which is a huge thing to me. I'm 3 weeks out of the fight at this point. I feel amazing, training every day. I'm preparing for victory. Just the way that I flow, let my work go. Just know that I'm one of a kind. I'm on my way to becoming a world champion.
ACO was selling crack, smoking killers. Like my bank account 100 racks, smoking killers. I pull up in that black on black, smoking killers. My ACO was selling crack, smoking killers. I wake up in this state of mind, like sky's the limit. My nigga strapped across the line. I'm gonna kill you. I'm focused on $1 million cash. That's the vision. Speeding and I'm finna crash.
About to get flagged. Oh, well.
Started boxing.
That is what that is. You see, I think this is the fight actually. Oh, no, man. Brother, we got all these. Nah, that's
started boxing.
Yeah, man, but he got a fight on August 27th. You know, that's going to be a good one, man. Another stoppy, hopefully. You know, it's a 10-rounder. Pretty scheduled, but, you know, we just got to get there and get the fight done, man. Shout out to the bro, man. Oh, shit. That was him and Leonard Ellerby. think that was at that's an old picture. That was at Badu Jack versus Adonis Stevenson, bro. Yeah, that was that press conference. That's an old fight. Yeah. Shout out to bro. I thought I had, maybe I have some. Yeah, Pristine. Yeah, this is my brother, man. You gotta have some shit on here. Like, you gotta have some fights, man. Okay, I think this one's for the fight coming up. Oh no. It's for his last fight.
I just worked inside the club. I got down there gripping on me. And she gonna be matching. I won't even time on there all day, but sound of fucking teller. And she, I see her fortune teller. And when I came along her chest, it made that. If I done it, he's smacking on her ass when she leaves. She's in every barrel, she's always
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my
Shout out to the guys, man. That was for the last show. That was for the last one. Damn, bro. My man he ain't got the. I think this is the one from the Boxing Boys.
And Patelis, undefeated Joshua Frazier from
Shout out to
Canada.
Ness,
I
trying to
think
throw the
he's
line.
33 too, so undefeated record, little bit older.
Tellis don't want that
Maybe
smoke,
that's
though.
another good comeback fight.
That could be done too. I think you're gonna see Yoani stay busy, bro. I think you're gonna see.
And Patelis,
Yeah, Yoani didn't want that work though, yo. No, we ain't. I'm probably already gonna get flagged from the Nipsey hustle, so I'm gonna chill, yeah. Yeah, man, he working though. We getting ready for October. August 27th. That's when he fight next. August 27th here in Canada. Should be a good event, man. Should be a good one. Good event, man. Yeah, man. Y'all got going on, man. You got my man Stock Chasers in the building. What up, champ? What up, Stock? What up, bro? Shit, let me go over here and make sure nobody jumped on the streamy. We outside with it. My man DHP. Boxing Wiz said Haney cooks Keyshawn. Hey, man, we gonna see. That's gonna be a hell of a fight, though. Shout out to Pristine Sports Network. What up, bro? Shout out Pristine, man. Carbon 57, what up, man? He said tank over everybody. Yo, shout out to you and Kenyo Taylor, man. That's y'all line. That's Kenyo's line, man. Tank over everybody. Shout out to Pristine, man. He said, yep, the flag, bro. Marathon. Yeah, bro, I appreciate y'all for rocking out with me, man. I'm gonna head on out here. Make sure y'all hit the like button, bro. Show some love to the stream. Y'all know what it is, man. It's your boy Ryan from the 6. We signing out, and peace.